Good afternoon, or whatever part of the day this may find you. I'm Charles Van Morgan. I've got a lot of information that's in the news right now that I'm going to cover, so hold on for the ride. The first thing I want to talk about is, there's a football game today. Go Vols. I'm a Vol fan and a recipient of a degree from the University of Tennessee. So my blood runs orange. Unlike the present governor who graduated from not from law school, but from a school in another state, I graduated from law school, even in Tennessee also. So what I want to talk about is not the Tennessee football team, but the THpp, the Tennessee Highway Patrol. They literally guard the coach on the football field, and I just wanted to warn you about I think he's a lieutenant or whatever that guards the coach. I know him personally, and he was involved in dangerously shooting at an individual unjustifiably in violation of the law and the rules of procedure of the Tennessee Highway Patrol. So he literally shot at a moving vehicle while his vehicle was moving and didn't get in any trouble for it, because I don't know for sure, but I'd like to know his background, because I'm sure that he's related to somebody in public power. If you're in the Highway Patrol, you do something wrong, they cover it up, and sometimes you can get promoted for it. But if you're like me, I shot at a moving vehicle from a stationary position because the vehicle was about to run over me after I warned him to stop, and I got suspended for 2 days for that. And yet the man guarding the UT football team, the trooper, I call him THpp, and there's a story behind that. They have a trooper on the sideline that's a lieutenant that's extremely dangerous, that may shoot at you for no reason, I don't know, but I would be very careful with the trooper that guards the coach on the sideline. He's a very dangerous individual, and that's a matter of fact. I mean, if they want to sue me for defamation, I'll go prove the story is true. Of course, they hid it at the time that happened, but I'm just telling you, the trooper on the sidelines is a dangerous individual for THpp. Let's talk about something else in the news. I told you I had a lot to cover, is the debate between Donald Trump and Comrade Kamala. And I'm not going to tell you who I'm for, but I may just have. But I don't worship Mr. Trump, but I think that he's the best for this country. And Comrade Kamala, I mean, she needs to learn to brush her teeth. If you notice, she's got black stuff all over her teeth, and she's got a chicken neck. I'm just saying, in that debate, I think Trump won, but even if you think Kamala won, which she didn't get questioned seriously on anything, and she never got challenged, and Mr. Trump got challenged numerous times by the moderators, so it was literally 3 against 1, and that's the story in that debate, if you ask me. It's 3 against 1. It was an unfair debate, so that's the story in the debate. So even if you give Kamala Harris the win, which I don't think she did, but you could spin it that way. I mean, they spin. But you can't get past the moderators, what they did, and they never questioned her and challenged her, and they questioned Trump numerous times. So that's the story. So the moderators literally made the case, because when Kamala Harris first came out, she said, what you're going to hear is a lot of grievances from Mr. Trump. And that sounds pretty routine for her to say that. Mr. Trump does talk about a lot of grievances. And then the moderators went on to show that his grievances are real. He says the news media is fake and false and biased. And they just went on to substantiate a grievance of his. So Kamala pointed it out, and the moderators helped Trump prove his case. The story in that debate was biased news, moderators, fake news, and I don't trust the news. They have not done me right. So the trooper on the sidelines is dangerous for THpp. The debate was won by Trump because of biased moderators. Let's talk about school shootings. Now, schools should be kept safe, and they could be kept safe easily today. It wouldn't be a problem. All they have to do is take the security measures that they have protecting these highfalutin lying Tennessee judges and put them at schools, the metal detectors and the law enforcement. You never hear of any shootings in courthouses because the courthouses are very well protected because they're protecting these highfalutin powerful judges. But you hear about shootings in schools because schools aren't protected. If they take all the money that they put on these highfalutin judges that are dishonest and bring stuff on themselves and put it in the schoolhouses, we could protect our children in a day. But Governor Lee doesn't care about your children. He cares about himself. Now let's talk about health care. Governor Lee has shut down more hospitals in the state of Tennessee than any other state in the United States. Hospitals are necessary to keep people alive, and if you've ever had a life-endangering incident, you know when you go to the hospital, these medical professionals are a little piece of heaven on earth. They're angels that protect and save your life, and we need to open up more hospitals. The governor refuses federal money that could go into hospitals all over the state. He refuses to take it. Wouldn't cost him anything because it's money from people in the Democratic Party right now. But he refuses money that won't cost him anything to provide for medical care in Tennessee to open up life-saving hospitals. But he doesn't care. But if you'll notice, there's hospitals near him, but there's not any in a lot of different counties in Tennessee. That hurts tourism. People won't come to Tennessee because there's not enough hospitals. And Governor Lee doesn't care, although he claims to be a Christian, which by his fruits, I think he'll bust hell wide open, quite frankly. Let's talk about the Tennessee Criminal Government Syndicate. That's what it is. It's a criminal syndicate against you. Let's talk about Sergeant Terrell Johnson. I think he's a captain now. Captain Terrell Johnson, who's a criminal part of the syndicate involving judges. Now, he lied under oath. He made a statement under oath that was a lie. And that lie was backed up by the judge and given the weight of law. He said that when he interrogated me over the incident involving that pursuit, that when I first came in the office, that he sat down with me and we watched the video of the pursuit. And that I admitted, he said, that there was fire on the car, trying to say that I admitted that the car was bright and I should have seen it, and I didn't see it. I thought it was a parked car on the side of the road, and I didn't see any fire, and I didn't see any smoke. You couldn't have in the time that I had, but he lied under oath. He testified to that. When he was challenged on it, he continued to say that me and him sat down and watched the video. And he said that after he swore to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. And the judge said, he questioned me, and I said, no, he didn't sit down with me and watch the video. And he questioned him, and he said, yes, we did. And the judge said that he would determine who was telling the truth. And the judge determined that I was lying. But I wasn't lying. Sergeant Terrell Johnson, who now got promoted to captain over line, committed perjury in a court of law. That's called a criminal syndicate because it's not a court of law, it's a criminal syndicate. It's a court for the government to facilitate their self-interest, even when it's criminal and wrong and causes people to get killed, which Sergeant Terrell Johnson's lies cause people to get killed, literally. Now, you can tell that what he said is a lie because you can read the transcript of the interview that same day that he had with me. He turns on the microphone and hands me a guarantee warning, and the guarantee warning is basically saying that you agree to talk to them, that nothing you say can be used against you in a criminal prosecution. Although I didn't care if they used anything in a criminal prosecution or because I had nothing to hide, I did nothing wrong. I was doing my job the best that anyone could do it. They had a previous vendetta against me because of Lion Will Russell, who's another piece of dung in public office now that's lied his way to the top. And if you watch videos of him, he's doing things that he shouldn't be doing. Sergeant Terrell Johnson asked me in that interview, had I seen the video. Why would he ask me had I seen the video if in fact he had just sat down and watched it with me? He would have said, other than us just watching it, or we just watched it, have you seen it other times? He didn't say that. My response was, I seen it about 3 times earlier with a supervisor in the Knoxville district that night, and that's the only times I'd seen it. He asked me how many times I've seen it, and I told him. He didn't say in addition to the time we just seen it. So you can tell by the transcript that he did not sit down with me and watch that video. He lied under oath, and the judge didn't even hold him to the truth found in his favor and took my job away from me. Of course, Sergeant Terrell Johnson doesn't make drunk driving arrests. I made more drunk driving arrests than any trooper in the state. And Sergeant Johnson lied to get something through their court system, which is a criminal syndicate, wrongly, that cost Tennesseans their life. Shortly after that, the fatality rate in Tennessee skyrocketed because they took me off the roads. Now, it gradually went down under some better supervisors that they appointed in the Knoxville district, not like it was when I was on the road. But in the last couple of years, about 2 years ago, they promoted Lieutenant Stacy Heatherly, the drunk lieutenant. Now, she was in trouble a few years ago. They gave her a day off because they had to, over calling a supervisor to come to the restaurant on the river to pick her up and her party because she was drunk. So she's using state money, state troopers, a supervisor to taxi her around. Well, he should be out looking for drunk drivers. But since she's been promoted, she was promoted 2 years ago by Colonel Matt Perry, who said Knoxville's a good district. Under her, it'll be a great district. But under her, the fatality rate in Knox County has skyrocketed to 35% more people killed on the roadways in Tennessee under her leadership, under 2 years, or lack of leadership. It's not leadership because she's a drunk. She don't see the importance of removing drunk drivers from the road because she's a drunk driver herself, I bet. And Governor Lee promoted her. So he doesn't care if people get killed on the roads. He's part of the problem. He deceived churches. So those are just a few things I wanted to cover today. Thank you for listening. Spread the message. Vote. We can turn this state around by putting out the message against people in power. We need to vote them out and vote good people in office. I may run for public office. I haven't made up my mind. I may run again. I don't know. I don't believe our fight is over. So pray for me that God will lead, guide, and direct me. Pray for yourself that God will protect you and your families and me and my family. God bless you. Thank you. And we'll talk to you later. Spread the message, spread the videos, and get other people to help support us. Thank you. Goodbye.